As Donald Trump gets ready for a second term in office, we've seen a number of big tech CEOs courting the president-elect, many wondering what it's going to mean for social media and for Silicon Valley. To delve into what big tech could look like during Trump's second term, I'm joined by technology analyst Carmi Levy. Thanks for joining us.
Good to be with you, Linda. Thanks for having me.
So I want to begin with this string of visits that we've seen by some of these big tech leaders. We're talking Meta's Mark Zuckerberg, Apple's Tim Cook, earlier this week as well, Amazon's Jeff Bezos, meeting with the U.S. president-elect, and many also pledging donations, large donations, to his inauguration fund. What do you make of all of this?
I mean, if you're the CEO of a company, any company, particularly a technology company, your primary accountability is fiscal responsibility. You've got to make a profit. And so you want to make sure that your organization aligns with the political winds as they shift, and that you're positioning your company to remain as viable as possible when a new administration takes over. So even though many of these very same CEOs have been on the opposite sides of a number of issues with Mr. Trump over the years, and have been the targets of his attacks, that ultimately means nothing. They want to make sure that they speak to the incoming president, that they understand each other's needs, and that they find common ground. And that's really what this is all about. Those donations ultimately curry favor with the president, make sure that whatever policy decisions come out of Washington over the next 4 years benefit those same organizations.
But how unusual is this, and what does it say about how they're feeling going into this next administration in the United States, making a point to come down to Mar-a-Lago to see Trump, pledging so much money, a few of them pledging $1 million to that inauguration fund? How unusual is it to see companies do something like this?
It's incredibly bizarre. I mean, just to watch it, it almost seems like they're bowing at the altar of the new king. And it seems that, it's somewhat disingenuous. Mark Zuckerberg, for example, opening up his checkbook, yet this is the very same man that Donald Trump had threatened to put in jail a while back. And so it seems really weird, but this is the way it works in Washington. Donald Trump, of course, holds grudges, but he's also a very transactional individual. And if he can get Silicon Valley on his side, that says a lot about his pro-business agenda, telegraphs to the American people that he's willing to work with anyone to make sure that the economy moves forward. It's good for everyone, even if you do have to hold your nose a little bit while you're doing it.
I want to ask you about TikTok, and TikTok's CEO being among Trump's visitors. We know TikTok is facing a ban in the United States due to come in, I believe, the day before Trump is expected to take office. He's gone from opposing this app to promising to save it. Will Trump intervene?
I think it's inevitable. 170 million Americans use this app on a regular basis. Many of them are digital influencers, content creators, small businesses. And so it's an economy unto itself, and it certainly isn't in Donald Trump's economic interest to shut down such a powerful sub-economy. So, we're watching those two dates, the deadline January 19th and Inauguration Day January 20th, because what happens along that timeline is the Biden administration's tendency to push TikTok to the margins. Donald Trump sees himself as the savior, and it'll be a good initial win for him to essentially save the company first thing as he moves into the Oval Office again.
Okay, let's hone in now on Elon Musk, who we know has been a huge supporter of Trump's during the election campaign, but now tasked with this co-leadership of this new Department of Government Efficiency with billionaire Vivek Ramaswamy. What sorts of things do you think we're going to see Elon Musk push for, and what is the potential here for conflict of interest when he leads some of these major tech companies?
He wants what all those other CEOs want. He wants a business-friendly government in place. And of course, now he's in the best position to get that. He has the very ear of the president, and we know that Donald Trump will follow his lead. We saw that with what happened with the spending bill. So we're already starting to see some of that. The first change that we might very well see related to Mr. Musk is the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. They have a standing order that requires automotive companies to report accidents involving autonomous technology. Tesla, of course, the most affected by this standing order. That's the first thing that will likely be rolled back. as soon as the new administration takes over. So already we're seeing Mr. Musk whispering in Donald Trump's ear saying, these are the rules that I want to go away that will help the bottom line of my company and other companies like it. And already we're seeing Tesla stock going up because of it. Expect more like that as the administration proceeds.
I only have less than a minute left, but I know a lot of people who are watching are probably wondering, what does this mean for the kind of content that I'm going to see on my social media feeds going forward into this new administration?
I mean, I think if we thought that social media was a wild ride already up until now, I think we can, buckle up because it's going to get even wilder. What we've seen is social media companies dialing back on their content moderation, their online digital safety efforts. X famously fired those teams. They're dialing the algorithms up, so less protection, less safety, more engagement. It's all about the bottom line. And if it is a hyperbolic headline, that's what gets engagement, even if it makes the place a little bit more chaotic, a little bit messier. So I would expect that, especially as regulation gets dialed back with these new appointees across the board, we can expect technology companies to have a wider range to do as they wish, even if it means that we're a little bit less safe in the digital realm. It's good for profits. Investors like it. Ultimately, under this administration, that's what's going to matter most.
Always enlightening talking to you. Thanks very much for joining us today.
Appreciate being here, Linda. Thanks for having me.
That's technology analyst Carmi Levy from Dryden, Ontario.